Okay, let's look at this one first. Tower of Fantasy developers step up and make a statement about their revenue. So when I first saw this, I was quite surprised. Like, why do they need to make a statement about their revenue? Tower of Fantasy is doing fine as far as I know. It's not like doing like Revive Witch. I mean, not Revive Witch is already EOS. It's not like doing a Girls Frontline Standard or Higan Standard where it's like at the bottom of the barrel, right? Tower of Fantasy is still like, it's not the highest, right? It's not the highest, but it's like, it's alright. It's like average. So I'm not sure why they need to come out to make a statement about the revenue. Felt something a bit wrong for them to come out to do this. So let's see. So the official Bilibili page made a post addressing the game actually income. Okay, but why do they need to do this though? I don't understand about this, right? According to them, those third-party revenue tracker apps like Sensor Tower have a significant discrepancy to the game actual revenue. I mean, of course, because like a lot of things, Sensor Tower is not accurate. It's just a good estimate to know, okay, this game compared to that game, okay, which one is like, it's just more for you to look at the trend, right? If it's going up or going down. Sure, it might not be super accurate, but you don't need it to be super accurate to know that the game is not doing well sometimes. If you look at Higan is not doing well. Does it matter if Higan is earning 60 cents more than what Sensor Tower is putting out? Like, how accurate does it need to be, right? Like, it's not exactly like difficult. Sensor Tower doesn't include CN? Yeah, that's true. It doesn't. But then Tower of Fantasy wasn't doing that bad either, so why do you need to come out to say this? Is the question, right? Like, that's pretty much it. Sensor Tower is made by you. You can never be super accurate because some games have PC client and Sensor Tower doesn't track PC client. Sensor Tower only tracks iOS and Android, but even then, iOS and Android, like, there are some third-party websites that you can use to basically not go through there, right? So they are making much more than app shown. The iOS revenue is only less than 10% of the game's total income. Ooh! So it's only 10%. And the game is at a stable place. Okay. But because most people are taking these app states as the actual state of the game, saying that the game is dying, creating misconceptions between the players. So the developers made a post addressing the real situation to ensure players that the game is nowhere near dead. Doom posting about revenue and state of game discourages a lot of players from trying the game. But why is it unique to Tower of Fantasy then? I don't understand. Why didn't Higan developers step up and make a statement? Why didn't Girls Frontline developer make up and made a statement? Why did Tower of Fantasy make a statement about this? That's why I don't understand. Why do they need to address this? There's a lot of games that's doing worse than them. They didn't make any statement. Why Tower of Fantasy need to make a statement? Something feels off here. Why they need to do this? It feels like they are forced to do this, in a way, in my eyes. Because of sticks. I don't think it's... Okay, first of all, if your game is not doing well, are you going to come out and say, oh, actually, you guys are right. Everyone is right. Our game is dying. We plan to EOS 2024. They're not going to say that. Who's going to say that? Like, if you're a developer, are you going to say that? You're probably not going to say that, right? So of course you're going to say that your game is doing well. Is this Reddit post credible? Which is what I'm trying to... Oh, okay. So this is the screenshot. Fantasy Tower mobile games. Okay. Tap. Share a little righteous news with the pioneers. This author said this response. By the way, this is like probably like Google Translate make it look weird. I assume this post is originally in Chinese, so it translated become like that. Guard staff recently conducted a comprehensive inspection of Tata. And the inspection report showed that the author's data is up to standard, although the author looks like it has shrunk a lot on the surface, but its weight data is actually stable. What author? There's also a special statement in the report that the author's sebum layer is quite thick and it cannot be cut at all. Tata translator, regarding the online game flow, the third-party calculation model is too simple and there is a big error between the data and the actual income. The planning and development progress of the follow-up version of the project is normal, and Tata will accompany the pioneers to take their fantasy to adventure in the whole universe. Please eat melons rationally. and judge rationally. Of course, this is just small piece of righteous news, just listen to it. I wish you all a happy weekend in advance and get off work at the speed of light. 886! Tata! Okay, I get it. So Otter, this is the mascot of Tower of Fantasy. Eat melons? Yeah, okay. If you guys are eating melons, just slow it down. Don't eat too much melons, alright? So, this is the Tata melon, okay. So it is based on this post. So this goes for other games as well. We shouldn't take the revenue states as the only trustworthy source about the game's current state and the future. Of course, you shouldn't look at this, right? But I think it is the reason why people look at the revenue is because people are worried another Princess Connect is going to happen, and you guys know Princess Connect was kind of doing well, and people are worried. TLDR, Tower Fantasy developers confirm that the game is doing well as of now, and for the future. So the source is right here. So let's just check it out. So this is the official source. Okay, so why do they need to make a statement? So maybe we'll have a look at here. A different post altogether, but I think it's related. Perfect World's clarification post on Tower Fantasy's financial situation. I think this post might be able to explain it to us better. On 10th of August 2023. 10th of August is 3 days ago. Okay. This person, for short, a highly regarded content creator in the CN community for his reliable gacha game earning estimates, released his monthly video on the previous month's gacha games earnings. Another creator live streamed himself watching it, so he basically reacted to it. He's like a react and remark on Tower of Fantasy's steadily declining earnings, and that segment got the attention of his viewers. So because a content creator in China reacted to another revenue video by another content creator in China, so this reaction has caused his viewers to react in a negative manner, and apparently one of the viewers was part of Perfect World. Because the day later, a post was made on Tower of Fantasy official Bilibili channel, which is the one that we just saw, right? This is the one. Yeah, this is the same one that we just saw. So basically, one of the viewers was part of Perfect World, which is why it led to this drama. Then they need to address this situation. What do you guys think? Okay. Of course, a small official news. Don't put too much thought into it. Happy weekends. Okay. So Otter and Tower is Tata are pronounced. Okay. It is generally unusual for official channels to publicly remark on such videos. However, the thing is, the streamer are not wrong when they say Tower of Fantasy's earnings are dropping. As Perfect World Game is a publicly traded company, they have to release financial statements of their company. The most recent one is this one. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to go through the entire statement of a company and look at their financial records. That's too much, alright? Too much on the stream. I don't want people to like hate on Tower Fantasy. As a Tower Fantasy lover myself, did a remark and saw a drop of 37.58% from Q1 2022 for video game earnings, with the main reason of Tower Fantasy's earnings naturally decreasing from its initial high revenue from launch. Okay, but that's not unique to Tower Fantasy though. A lot of games decline over time. Okay, a Perfect World Game is due to release their Q2 financial report at the end of August, if I remember correctly, so we'll see how reliable the author's words are. I get the feeling that those words are for the investor. Okay, so, Genshin and Star Rail are actually doing better than we thought. Not surprised if they are. I could have sworn there was an announcement from a game that had the same energy of "we are fine" and eventually ended up closing its servers months later. Was there? Was there a game that say, okay, we are fine, we are doing fine, and then they closed the game a few months later? What game did that? Princess Connect? Just kidding, man, just kidding, alright. Revenue trackers aren't trustworthy for the exact numbers. They are more of a general gist of if the game is improving or decreasing in revenue, and the general gist of where it's compared to the rest, okay? As in, even say Grimlight is making more than 10k stated by Sensor Tower, we know it's not going to be a million. Even if it was 100% accurate, without knowing how much the game costs to upkeep and how willing the devs are in continuing it for a small profit margin, it's hard to say if the game is about to shut down. Sure, decrease in spending is a red flag, but not a certain doom. Yeah, I agree with that, right? Too soon? You played Princess Connect match? But setting aside the question of how correct the websites are, what else are they supposed to say? No company would openly state that their game is dead until they close. It would be stupid to throw away the money they can still make. That's my point. That's my point, right? Do you think the Crunchyroll would say in advance that their game is shutting down? They won't. Until the last minute, they'll be like, okay, EOS. And then players will like, because it works. Because people still continue. If you shouldn't announce EOS until like last minute. No company should do that, because if you announce it too early, people stop spending money in your game. And if people stop spending money in your game, you make less money. Why would you want to make less money as a company? You're supposed to make more money and hope more people spend. So the longer you delay that, all right, say it last minute, all right, okay, we're going to announce EOS, okay, if you spend money, we're going to refund, but let's be honest, right, how many people they actually refund, nobody knows, but hey, but that's just how it goes. Reddit copying EOS time to make a new game. No, I think this is a very accurate statement. Like, why would a company say that their game is EOS? You know, if they can still make potential money, right? Like, I don't see why they would do that logically, right? Which is why you as a player should always keep up with the revenue of your game somewhat. You have to educate you have to know if the game that you are continuously playing. I feel like it's on you, not on the company that you are giving money to. It's not their job to make sure that, oh, we are going to shut down soon, stop playing our game. It's you as a player, you should be responsible with your money, not them, not companies looking out for you. That's not how it works. But yeah, most companies would just say nothing and EOS if the stats show they really aren't making money. That's why they say nothing and keep people guessing. Responding is essentially an admission of guilt. I read Perfect World statement 3 times and can't find where you get the 10% figure from. Do you pull it out of your ass? The July Perfect World financial report stated, okay, for stockholders, April, if your 10% figure to be true, are they saying they lied to the government and didn't pay their taxes? Essay! Damn, imagine writing an essay just to get -7. That sucks, man. I would be upset, man. I type, this is like at least 300-400 words here. You type so much of this just to get -7? Damn. I don't think the devs are going to admit that their game is dying unless people can scrape their data for player numbers or something. With how they've been putting out content, it's somewhat believable at least. He's getting this right. I quitted Tower Fantasy months ago, didn't know it was dead. It wasn't dead, alright? It still has some players. There's a person on Tower Fantasy Reddit who regularly makes activity reports based on the guild points accrued in NA servers. Not perfect data, but they seem thorough and it lines up with general sentiment and revenue data as far as I can tell. Okay. Let's read one last one. Even if the income is 100% correct, which obviously wouldn't because the PC revenue and console revenue. Yeah, now Tower Fantasy now has a console as well, right? PlayStation 5. The trend should still be worrying to say the least. It's not just the low income on mobile that's the issue, it's the massive and consistent drops the game is seeing. Since release, I think the game has only seen an increase in revenue like twice between months, despite the game seemingly getting large with more stuff and increased team size, which would probably mean an increase in cost as well. The game's cost has increased while revenue is decreasing monthly. The game was profitable for sure, the first month alone probably funded the game for at least another few years alone, but like half of the game's revenue was the first month of release. Usually trends like this are universal across platforms, but I see some people argue that this would be a mobile exclusive platform due to the game running like ass on phones, but that sounds like copium to me personally. Yeah, because people can argue that because there's no data. And people that usually argue that is because they are players of the game. Of course they are going to say stuff like that, right? Most people won't give you data of that. I don't know. I think I don't think Tower Fantasy is gonna die anytime soon. Like I wouldn't be worried. Like they are doing pretty good though. They earn as much as PGR as far as I know. I'm not sure if that's saying a lot. Is PGR considered a high revenue earning gacha? I'm not sure, but based on what I see, they are always like on par with PGR. So if PGR is alive, I assume they can as well. It does feel like they are a bit insecure, right? That they need to come out and say stuff like that. But then again, it is a publicly traded company, so maybe they're scared that the investors would leave the game. So there's that as well. So I can see why they would want to do that. But either way, I hope the best for Tower of Fantasy, really. I wish the best for the game. I saw the trailer for the latest one. What's that guy again? Black Tortoise, Zeke. He seems pretty cool, and if they can continue pumping out like cool characters, why not, right? I think the game still has potential. I don't see why, I know some of you guys are joking and say that, oh, it's dead, blah blah blah, but most of it is like a joke. I don't think anybody actually hates the game or anything.